my report. And just like Pastor Hanks mentioned in the invocation, the fire department suffered a big hit this past month, just a few weeks ago. Troy Robinson, one of the mainstays up there, passed away unexpectedly. The very same day that he passed away, his uncle passed away, Mr. Paul Beverly, down here in the lower end of town. So I would ask that everybody keep that family, as well as the fire department and EMS family, in your thoughts and prayers as they go through this difficult time. Johnny, how's your wife doing?
About the same.
About the same?
Yeah,
Donnie, how you doing?
about the same.
About the same? Anybody else that's not feeling well or sick in town that we haven't recognized or thought about tonight? Okay. Couple of things to talk about. Last month we talked about the Lumos bill, and you found a couple of things that we could reduce on that, I think, didn't you?
I did. It wasn't by very much, but you know, $5-10 a month is still $5 or $10 a month that we can save. So
you took care of that. Thank you for that. Okay.
You're welcome.
Just an announcement that a reminder of next Tuesday, Town Hall will be open, but there will be a Democratic primary being conducted. So they will be using this room as a voting area for that. So when you come and you see a lot of activity or any activity, that's what that's about. But Wendy will still be here and the office will still be open for regular business. We've got a meeting scheduled for Monday night, the 2nd of March at 7 o'clock here in Town Hall to kind of bring everybody up to date on the possible project to renovate and replace our sewer system. We're in the very early stages of that, but it's been a while since we all got together and talked about it. Felt like we need to bring everybody up to date. There are 3 citizens that have volunteered to join us on that committee, and they are Jimmy Jeffries, Chazzy Nicely, and Jennifer Tyree. But I want to make sure that everybody knows that anybody in town that has an interest in knowing what's going on firsthand, please plan to attend these meetings, because that's where it's all going to be laid out. Then it's going to be brought before council and discussed here. But these meetings are going to be open forum, discussion back and forth, questions, answers, everything laid out on the table, so everything is completely transparent going forward with this whole project. Also, a couple of months ago, Chris Fisher designed and presented the town with a flag that council agreed to adopt as the official Iron Gate flag. Since that time, we've been looking for a flagpole to erect out here on the other side of the front lawn. And just Monday evening before we went into the work session, we found out from a resident that they were going to donate a stainless steel flagpole to the town. It was actually donated to them from their employer, and they're re-gifting it to the town. And so we're going to see about getting that erected. It should be here within a couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll have it up by the 1st of April for that flag and be able to display that like it should be. The auditors finally completed their audit week before last, Wendy.
Yes.
We should be getting their final report, I would say, by the middle of March. And of course, all council members will get a copy of that report. There's a report here for anybody in town that would like to review it. And also part of that audit is required for us to submit to the financing folks at Rural Development for our sewer project. So it'll be good to get that. The other thing that we had discussion with, and we're going to look at this before we present the budget for next year, we talked with this with Sadie from the auditors. Right now, they're on a biannual cycle to audit our books. And she recommends doing it on an annual basis. And actually, it's probably going to be a little bit less expensive to do it on an annual basis because they have less time involved when they have to come and do it 1 year at a time. When they do it every other year, they actually audit both years' books. So they're here much longer than they would be if they were just audited in 1 year. And the other reason for that is if council and the town decides to go forward with the sewer project, part of the funding requirements to get the funding for that project will be an annual audit report. So we're going to get the prices for that, present all that when we present our budget this year, so council can decide how they want to move forward with that. And while we're talking about the rest of this upcoming year, this is an election year for the town. There are 3 seats available for re-election or election 2 on council. Randy's, Mr. Mazes, and Miss Nicely's are up for election or re-election. My seat's up for election this year. The election day is in November. Deadline to get your name on the ballot will be sometime around the 1st of June. They haven't published that date to us yet, but as soon as they do, that'll become part of our announcement. And the reason I'm announcing it so early and keep bringing it up is I just don't want anybody that has an interest in stepping up and serving the community and taking an interest in how things are handled to miss the opportunity to get on the ballot. And we've been talking about water rates and water that we're purchasing that we're not being reimbursed for through our meter readings. Wendy and I have been kind of digging into this some and finding out that there's been for quite a while some discrepancies between the water we've been buying and actual amounts of water that we've been billing for. So hopefully we took a huge step in correcting a big part of that in January when we fixed that 8-inch water main leak up in the mouth of the gap. It was kind of indicative that, or indicated that that had been leaking for a while and possibly finally just gave away in December, because when you look at the numbers for December and January, they're off the charts as to how much water went through the master meter. So hopefully we'll know, they're going to read the meters tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to compare the meter reading for us this month back to the same month last year and ensuing months before the leak showed itself, and compare that and see where we are with that. We're also working on some other possibilities, and one thing that we've been told by Virginia Rural Water and everybody who's come here to help us try to find this and analyze our situation, and Hurt and Profit, who did the was it Hurt and Profit that did the asset management plan for us through the grant last fall, that one of our problems is aging meters, and as they age, they don't accurately record the flow. We're looking at pricing out maybe installing new meters. I think Clifton Forge is in the process of looking into that right now, aren't they, Pam? Mm-hmm. And Jennifer brought up a good point at the work session, also pursued what grant money would be available to help defray that cost. That's all in the early works. We got to get our numbers together first to see where we are with it, but just so everybody's kind of up to speed on it. And also, this really probably should come under old business. So I'm gonna put it off to old business. The last thing is, I know y'all probably seen the town crew riding around in the old fire truck. The transmission shot in the Dodge pickup that they've been driving since 2007. Estimates to fix the transmission, if you buy a used transmission, the only one really we found had 122,000 miles on it, and that's more miles that's on the whole truck. It was $1,500 plus shipping plus installation. To buy a rebuilt one for that truck is, they start at $4,000 and go up to around $5,000. And again, on top of that, you have to pay shipping and installation for that. So I'm in the process of getting estimates and spreadsheets on the cost of looking at buying a new pickup truck for the town. I've got one set of estimates that I gave to council members at the work session. Got another set coming from a different automotive dealer, and then also another set coming from that same first dealer for 2019 leftover trucks. All these, though, will be considered for purchase on the state contract. So it's going to take a huge amount off at the very top. And so we're looking at having to upgrade and buy a pickup truck. The truck that we've got has been in service since 2007. And it's done well by them. To be strictly a light duty truck, it was a half-ton, 6-cylinder, 5-speed, not 4-wheel drive. So we may wind up having a call meeting later this month once I get all of the estimates in to see what we can do to move forward, but we will have that well publicized and well documented and when it's going to be and what it's going to be about. So, any questions about any of that? Anybody?